Welcome back to the Voice of the Founding Fathers, and I'm your host, Dr. D. Lee Pippin. Today, we are going to go ahead and go over some of the other rights that may be in jeopardy with the current SCOTUS. One of them is gay rights. Gay rights include gay marriage, they include equal pay, they include many, many things. And I know everybody's made in little things like transgender bathrooms into the biggest factors of gay rights, but that's not the biggest factors. So I'm old enough that I remember when gays were being murdered on the streets just for being gay. And some people thought it was okay. I've had people that I know of that have been killed in their cars, taken in back alleys, tricked into back alleys by people to be beaten to death. Those are the things that gay rights are supposed to protect. So there's talk of SCOTUS may overturn gay rights and gay marriage. And what does that mean? Again, similar with Roe versus Wade, there are some states that already have gay marriage on the books. Florida is one of the states that has gay marriage on the books, though how gay marriage got on the books was from a back way in. It was actually over a lawsuit dealing in divorce, not marriage. And they had to make the marriage legal to allow divorce to happen. Because if you can't legally get married, you can't legally get divorced. So over that lawsuit, Florida actually granted gay marriage approximately 30 days before the federal government actually said it was a right that to the gay people. And when people say that's not true family, that's not true this, that's not true that, you're lying to yourself, and I don't know why. So I'm going to tell you another story. When the Episcopal Church turned around and said they would do gay marriage, and they created a ceremony specifically for those gay marriages, each bishop was given the opportunity to say what he was going to do in his diocese because it was such a controversial issue. And the Episcopal Church has leanings both Catholic and Lutheran. So several bishops embraced it, and several bishops sat on the fence for a very long time and have still made no decision, so leaving people in the dark. I was at one of those meetings where it was being discussed about the local diocese accepting gay marriage. And the bishop had not made a choice. And a gentleman stood up and he told the story about how he and his partner had been together for 46 years. And his partner had gotten sick, and the gay marriage was approved by the country, but they wanted a church wedding. They had always been believers. They wanted a church wedding. And they held out for that church wedding. And the bishop, taking his time about it, the one partner, after 46 years, died before he could ever have that dream of being married in the church, surrounded by his friends and family, and accept it. And for any of you that want to spout any hatred related to gay marriages and gay couples and use religion, shame on you. Shame. Because if you're truly a Christian, you're supposed to love everyone and accept everyone. You may not approve, but you're supposed to love and accept and support. And through your own actions, let others make their decision. And if your actions, which unfortunately it seems to be the current pattern for many, many Christians, are acts of hatred, spouting hatred, it's no wonder we have people that have never stepped foot in a church. It's no wonder we have whole families that are against religion. We are turning people away from God. We are destroying the family, not gay marriage. Stupid politics and propaganda and dogma. That's destroying the family unit. So think about it before you make a comment to someone. Think about it before you put out how someone's doomed to hell or they're a sinner. Remember that statement. Let he who is without sin cast that first stone. And if you remember the story, the elders were the first ones to walk away because they were the ones that know there's no way you live a life without some sin in your own. And if people are to forgive you, you have to forgive them. And it worked its way all the way down to the youngest. Today, we seem to be doing things in reverse. Our youth seem to be more accepting and tolerant than our older. I know everyone's afraid of change. Change is always difficult. But this isn't a big change. It's not. Homosexuality has been around for as long as the world's been around. And until a couple hundred years ago, it actually was sort of accepted. It was only when the big purges started happening and everybody started pointing fingers that things like this changed. And that's another lesson from history we all better remember. The gays, the Democrats, all kinds of different groups, all of them are like the Christians in the arenas for the Roman Empire. They're there to distract. They're brought up to distract. It's a whole game to keep you from actually looking at what is happening around you in this country and the world. And let me tell you something. If you are just an apathetic sheep that doesn't get involved, doesn't open your mouth, and allows it to happen, then you're as guilty as the ones you're subconsciously blaming because you allowed it because you didn't stand up. And I know it's hard to stand up. It's hard to get in front of people and stand up for what you believe is right and stay civil and stay understanding. And when you do that, you also have to be willing to listen to both sides, hear their arguments and points. And it's very hard sometimes when the person on the other side's arguments are nothing but propaganda with not a single fact to back them, or made up facts. And I'm not talking about made up by the left. I am talking about some of the ones made up by the right. I'm sorry. I'm going to call the spade in this one. When you say the elections were stolen because I lost, and that's just not possible. That's ego. That's propaganda. There's not a single fact to back it. A matter of fact, when they did all these audits, the only ones they found actually committing some of the election fraud were some Republicans that were part of that whole movement. Those were the ones found guilty. But everybody just says, oh, they hid it. They covered it up. I know it's true. It has to be true. Why do you know it's true? How do you know it's true? You have divine inspiration somewhere? No. It's just because you believe the propaganda being fed to you. And it works because they like to get you emotionally involved, get you worked up, and you stop thinking. Well, I'm here to tell you, stop being emotional and start thinking. Because you are accountable for your actions and your inactions. So if you're not doing anything, or you're pushing a lie that you know is a lie, both are guilty. Both. And it's up to us as a nation to get our country back on course. That is what it means to be a founding father. And that is also what it means to be a citizen of the United States. We all have a responsibility. And we need to stop the dogma, stop the propaganda, and actually deal in the facts. If we deal in the facts, we can actually fix the problems. We can fix the things that are going wrong. We don't need slogans. We don't need theater. We need actions that have rationale behind them. And I'm calling on you to be some of those rational people. Thank you. And remember, click the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and hit the like button. And we'll see you again real soon. Have a great day.